You know what the age-old wisdom is, Colby?
No, Barry, what's that?
Never trust a beautiful woman.
Man, that fits every movie. Yeah.
Temptress, Helen of Troy. No. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Hot theme music.
Welcome to the third week of VR month.
Sorry. I gotta look it up. I'll get like the whole song. Next time I'll sing the whole thing for you.
Hey,
I don't know if there's more than just that line.
No, it's probably just like a super sweet guitar riff. Every 90s kid show in the always had a super sweet guitar riff. Yep. X-Men.
Right.
You know? Power Rangers.
Yep.
Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't listen to the Japanese one because it's not as epic. Yeah. Have you ever heard the Japanese theme song?
Yep.
It's like, but then it's like this super campy thing.
Yeah.
But then I guess it's kind of weird though because when you listen to Yu Yu Hakusho, that's like city pop,
right?
But it fits so good.
I think some of those it depends on what you heard first.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. That's probably. It's kind of hard to beat a guitar riff.
Yeah, that's true. Like Sailor Moon.
Oh.
I love the opening, and then I heard the Japanese one, and I'm like, that's just not the same. But then I've seen some shows with Outlaw Star.
Yeah. Oh.
And then they brought it out here, and then I was like, oh, that's not the Japanese original theme song.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right. It's just for me, it's kind of hard to beat a sweet old guitar riff.
It's true.
That's an American plays a guitar.
There's some anime themes that
Oh no, yeah, no.
that definitely rock though.
I love that. I use that in a lot of my everyday life. It's a line from what's it called? It's a line from The Longest Yard with Steve Austin. Because he's racist in that movie,
right?
And then during the final game, he talks to Nelly. He's like, "I saw a white man," but I don't like saying. I like inserting non-racist things into that. Oh man. Okay, so I guess so how before we get into the movie, how are you liking VR month?
I am sci-fi. I love sci-fi stuff. It's my jam.
The 90s and the early 2000s were all about how far can we get in VR?
Right.
Now that we're there, no one wants to talk about it. Now
it's it's everywhere, so it's not exciting anymore. This was cutting edge at the time.
That's true. I was super psyched to get my Quest because I was like, oh, VR porn. It's too much, It's I gotta move my head around. Until we get the whole Neuralink.
Yeah.
It was funny though. Someone was like, when you get Neuralink with ads. Oh, Riley.
And all the ads will be personalized, not necessarily your name, but it'll be you were talking about getting news. Yeah, a hole in my sock, and all of a sudden, a Hanes.
Oh, I know. I mean, our phones are already doing that for us.
Right, but when every TV screen you look at is a personalized ad to you.
Oh, yeah, that would be. Cause we kind of started having that too with the separate glasses. Have you seen those TVs?
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. But all right, let's get into what the first this movie is. And let's just do a little. It's a fun little game now because it is guess the song, Colby. Because now we're doing a little Weird Al thing. I've been kind of in my Weird Al bag. So let's see if you can guess this one hit wonder from the 90s. Hang around in VR by myself, and I had so much time to sit and ponder here on why Fuller had to die. A mystery around here. There's something more I got to figure out. Boom, boom. It smells like the 13th Floor. From 99 with Vince D'Onofrio. I really need the instrumentals for this. We're just not going to get the clearance for that.
Yeah.
So can you guess that?
I totally know that song too.
Let's see. Let's give you one more, like another clue. I believe it came out in 1996, summer of '96.
Right. No, I'm singing the original in my head to see if I can get to like the chorus and then know the name. Disco Cherry Pie or something like that is
that's a lyric. It's a lyric in there. It's in this. It's in this first. It's the first line of. It smells like the 13th floor. Oh, by the way, we're talking about the 13th floor from 1999. Can you guess it? 5, 4, 3. It's two of your favorite things. I mean, it's two of any man's favorite things. Not just you. You can't. It's not something in cheese.
That's right.
Yeah. One for Sex and Candy by Marcy's Playground. It smells like sex candy. Yeah. I know you've definitely heard that a lot post high school. It was that and probably Savage Garden.
Oh yeah.
But we are talking about 1999 sci-fi film, The 13th Floor, with probably the two most famous people that you guys are going to know in here is Vince D'Onofrio, who I guess at this point is just a VR veteran.
Right.
And Dennis Haysbert, the State Farm guy. State Farm.
The main guy, he had like a couple years where he was like, I'm going to be the next big star, and then he just wasn't.
Yeah, he was what, in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
That he was pretty decent in, and I believe he kind of fell into the background character or like secondary, something like that. It was, he was in one of your favorite, oh no, that was just one episode of your favorite show, Wings. Did a lot of TV though. Yeah, we were talking about, Craig Bierko. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bierko?
I'm not sure. But yeah, like he was definitely like, I saw his face and I was like, oh, that guy. And then I was like, whatever happened to him? He like,
he kind of just, I mean, he's stayed relatively busy, but like I said, just in the background of things.
Yeah, like 1 or 2 episode TV show kind of things. And
yeah, nothing that's made him be ahead of a movie.
Yeah.
Like this one. Like, yeah, he's stayed busy. He hasn't stopped working, but it's like 1 episode here, 1 episode there.
Right.
So, sometimes some things are meant to fizzle, man. I don't know what to tell you. But no, we're talking... Yep, the 13th Floor coming out in 1999.
Okay, so you told me the name of this, and immediately in my head was the Haunted Hotel
on Hill
movie.
House.
No, there's like a movie that's also like but it's like a room number maybe.
1408.
Maybe that's it.
With John Cusack and Samuel Jackson.
That's it. That's immediately. I was like, how is that a VR movie? It's been that long since I've seen it that I don't remember. I thought it was like a haunted house. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, this movie.
I've definitely seen this movie poster.
Right. It's got a super familiar movie poster, but I did not see this one in theaters.
Surprising. You're like, who's Vince D'Onofrio? But yeah, let's talk. It's funny enough, when I first started this movie, I was like, did I rent the wrong movie? Because we started,
yes. Right. Yep.
Because we start off in a 1930s setting. This man is beautiful handwriting, calligraphy. My uncle that I grew up with had that kind. I was like, what are you writing, sonnets? Because he used to kind of harp on me about my handwriting.
Yeah.
And his was just so beautiful. And I was just like, well, there's keyboards now. So.
Right. And even the coloring of the film style coloring.
Yeah.
Is like that era.
Like I was waiting for an N-word bomb to drop. It was the 1930s.
Yep.
So yeah, this older gentleman is dressed up to the nines. I mean, I guess back then it was just normal. It's a little bit fancier.
Yeah.
But he writes this letter and he gets ready for this little big band sort of club.
Right.
And then he goes up to Vincent D'Onofrio, and then Vincent D'Onofrio is like, "Oh, hey, hello, Mr. Fuller. You're regular. Was it dry martini and 2 olives or something like that?" And he's like, "Oh, no, Vincent. Well, yeah, go ahead." And here, I have this letter here. Someone's gonna come to get this letter. Can you hold it for me? And he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem, Mr. Fuller." And he goes, makes his rounds. He's like talking to like these little young teens,
Yep.
What were those girls called before? Like showgirls, I guess.
Yeah, it was almost like cigarette girls.
Yeah, cigarette girls are always kind of hot, but every time I've seen them, they're always a ghost. So I was like, never mind. But no, and so what's it called? He makes his rounds. Does he sleep with one of them, or he like very flirtatious?
Yes,
it's very prevalent that he's probably had relations with these very much younger women.
Right.
But he's like smoking a cigar and all that stuff. But then he gets into a cab.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey." Does he go home? This is kind of like I'm like kind of blanking on this.
Right, so he gets in the cab and or it's like his ride.
Yeah,
and like his driver like knows where he's going, so takes him home. And then like once he gets home, it's like he's like a different person.
Yeah, he's like in a very not a mediocre house, just a normal house.
Yeah,
like because when you first look at him, he's like, oh, everyone knows who he is. Everyone's like, hello to him.
Yeah, you think he's like a Hugh Hefner kind of.
Yeah, like you think he's coming into like a mansion home, but he's coming into just a nice, normal 2-story white picket fence type of house.
Yep.
But he changes, he gets into bed, and then his older wife is like,
"Right,
you've been smoking again."
Yeah.
Well, what's going on with you? He's I'm so sorry. I just stress. But then all of a sudden, you get a gander at his eyes.
Right.
And they start doing like a little quantum leap situation.
Like, oh, that's a good way to explain it. Yep.
And then all of a sudden he wakes up in a Rock With You Michael Jackson video. Green lights descend upon the floor.
The laser on the smoke. Yep.
Yeah. And he was in VR. And you're like, oh, whoa. And then you see like a little display on the computer of like the, what's it called? Like the brain signatures. And then Vincent D'Onofrio was like, whoa. You okay? Oh, wait, was he there? I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I believe he was there because he probably doesn't jump.
Right.
VR jump without a hand, a babysitter.
Yes.
Right, but he ends up going to a bar and he's like a seedy looking bar, obviously in a much like later time.
Right, and then he's like martini, and they
2 olives,
and they hand it to him like in a rocks glass,
And he's like, we don't have olives. Here's some pretzels. He's like, never mind. Goes to a payphone and he calls somebody. He calls Doug. Right. Oh wait, is it Douglas or I forgot?
Do we know?
Oh yeah, we don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah,
right.
He calls somebody, but then he feels somebody like following him.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Fuller, he ends up trying to run away until he runs into the alleyway and he runs into a hooded figure.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my god.
He's like, oh, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
But then all of a sudden he gets stabbed.
Yep.
And then we finally meet our main character. Douglas Hall, right? That's his name.
Yep.
And he's meeting Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's just like,
and he is in a very nice apartment.
Oh, very classic, like 90s apartment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ooh la la. All right. I don't know what was like with the interior decoration of like high class 90s stuff.
I like it.
It almost feels like
it needs to make a comeback. That's what it needs.
But everything is so rigid. It's like so 90 degrees.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like, this is what the Jetsons were talking about. But no, he meets Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's just like, whoa, what's going on? And this time when we see Vincent D'Onofrio fully for the first time, he has like this very unkempt hair.
Yeah.
Looks kind of messy.
And looks like a skateboarder kind of. That's
like an IT skateboard programmer. Like it's very Hackers 94, whatever. Exactly. A part of Angelina Jolie's crew.
Yep.
And and they're kind of just like, was it like lamenting the fact or something like that, or just kind of like, oh man, I can't believe Fuller died. He was such a revolutionary.
Right, and he was like, I haven't been here in this company for a few years, but the program was so close and
I barely did anything. It's just so sad, all that stuff. And I believe before you meet him, he's talking with State Farm. Sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
Because I believe he's getting interrogated or in
well,
interviewed?
Yeah, because the guy's just kind of like, hey, I know you used to work there. Did you leave? It's been a few years. Did you leave on bad terms? Because this guy's like this multimillionaire.
Yeah.
And then kind of like you're not a suspect, but we're just trying to make the rounds.
Yeah, he's trying to do their due diligence.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he not a part of the company anymore?
He wasn't part of a company anymore.
See, I'm like missing things. I guess I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, so it had been like a couple years that he had left the company.
Okay. And so and what kind of brought him back together was the will. Yes, because later we do find out that the will has been the company has been moved to him. Because now the guy is worth $2 billion or something like that.
Yeah,
a crazy amount.
Yeah,
but he's talking to Vincent D'Onofrio, and it was like, how close was he to being done? Or he's like, it's already done.
Right.
What are you talking about? It's so cool, man. He's diving all the time, but I believe and this is where we get a sort of a small explanation of how the dive works, right?
Right.
Because in this program, instead of having an avatar that's always kind of on standby for you,
right?
What happens is they switch consciousness.
Yeah, so that they build a game of NPCs that are basically all the game. Even if nobody's in it, the game is running.
Yeah,
and the NPCs are all interacting and talking, and they all have an AI brain, and so they're all learning and evolving in this game. And then when you want to play, it kind of just ports your consciousness into the character that you've created, that's been in there playing without you.
Exactly. But in this situation, it's almost they kind of wanted to bypass the possessor thing, where you have two consciousness in one body. Yeah. So in this VR thing, super dangerous, by the way. I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to do that. The consciousness of the avatar you're jumping into sort of is on standby in your body.
Right. And it's just kind of like a placeholder. Yeah. And they don't think that there's any
repercussions
threat of there being any holdover. It's just basically your consciousness goes there and it pulls their consciousness, just kind of holds it in your brain like a little jail cell.
Yeah, but I think
until you're ready to put it back.
I think there is sort of they're still testing it. This whole thing is still in the very much the testing phase, because there is a time limit.
Right.
Yeah, because they're Vincent D'Onofrio is it's an hour. You get an hour max.
Right, and he's put me in for
120 minutes, 2 hours, pretty much. And he's like, no. Yeah. That's too much time. And he's like, do it. Because he's like, now I have to figure out what Fuller did in this world. Maybe he left me clues, because they seems like they had a very close relationship.
Right, because he left a phone message that said,
oh yeah, I have there's messages for you in the game. Yeah, something like that. And they're pretty close. Later we do see that there's a photo on Fuller's desk of him and Doug.
Right, and they said before he left They don't ever give any kind of reason why he left the company. Before he left the company, the two of them were really close.
Yeah.
And he was like, almost like father-son.
Yeah. Creative differences. That's what the PR always tells.
Probably, yeah.
You got to tell the board member something.
Yeah.
Right? And so he ends up going into this world, and it is 1930s Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know it's Los Angeles is because while he's doing his investigating, at first he's a bank teller. She's like, "Excuse me," this old lady in the mink coat is like, "You owe me $5.12." I was like, "How many hamburgers can you buy with that?" You could probably feed a whole school with
right,
that.
McDonald's is what, like 29 cents a piece then?
Lower. Because I think I remember a long time ago, me and my friend were, we were in Carl's Jr. And they had like little like motel art of like their old restaurants, and it said, was it like 5-cent hamburgers? And I was like, oh, what a time.
Right.
What a time.
It's crazy, like, sorry, totally sidetracked, but like the prices now of things. Because I always remember, like, I used to go to McDonald's and go through the drive-thru, and I only remember this because, like, the number was specific. But if you got the 2 cheeseburger value meal and you supersized it, it was $3.57. And like there's a gun, like a $3.57. So it made me always remember that number, and that was my like college.
That was your college.
I got way more McDonald's than a human should eat in college.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of college students are eating way too much McDonald's.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, if you try to get the same meal, it's probably going to be like $12.
It's like yeah, especially if you supersize it.
I don't even think they have supersize anymore.
Go large.
Yeah.
Right.
But, so like, no. And so he gets out of there, another person who's always like in a lot of things is his boss, who is played by Bob Clendon.
Yep.
He has that face. I'm pretty sure he's like a nice guy, but he's always kind of playing like dopey characters. Like you feel bad for him. Like the character he's always playing, but no, and so he's like, hey, you know what, Ferguson? Because in this world, his name is Ferguson, his avatar. He's like, just take the day off. You've been really freaking weird with the customers, and I don't. These are housewives. All they do is like talk shit. So he ends up getting dressed, and he kind of starts to sort of backtrack. So he goes to where his boss's avatar is.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of like that. The bank scene is the first time you really realize that, like, you're getting like thrust into a person's active life.
Yeah. Which is like super invasive.
Yeah.
But also like Doug is like super blown by this world because it is so.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's so detailed.
It looks like it looks like he might have just woke up from a bad dream and came back to his actual life.
Yeah.
This is like sort of like it's like kind of showing you the possible dangers of VR if it's like so lifelike.
Right.
But no, so he ends up like he gets a taxi cab. He's like telling the taxi cab like, how much is it to go to Pasadena? It's like, was it like 90 cents or something like that?
Right. First
of all, being able to like travel in LA in 2 hours, the amount of travel he does in this movie, I was like, man, there's no traffic. I was also like, this is when they decided to build the freeway situation, and now it's just a clusterfuck that you can't try to fix.
Yeah.
But no.
An hour and a half wouldn't have been enough to get around in the current time.
Exactly. You might try to go 15 minutes down the street. That'll take an hour and a half.
Yep.
But he ends up going to the shop of where Fueller's avatar is at. But then Fueller's avatar has like no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, right.
Right. But I forgot how somehow he knows to. He ends up He ends up looking for a woman, a younger lady. That I forgot how he comes by this information, but then they're like, oh, don't try to look for her. She's trying to turn her life around. She has a nice job at the Wilshire Grand Hotel. So, same guy. I mean, right. This whole trip is probably costing him $2 at the most. That's like a week's pay for a bank teller, probably. So he ends up going.
This poor bank teller, he's just like, I'm going to be driving around spending your money, and then I'm going to go back to
my life.
To my life. You're going to be broke. Sorry.
You're going to be broke, and I'm going to be in my ivory tower. So he ends up going to the Wilshire Grand Hotel, and he finds the girl, and she's like, they're doing a little dance rehearsal, and she's like, hey, I'm kind of busy right here. I can't mess this job up.
Right.
But she ends up telling him to go to the bar because that person knows who Mr. Fuller is.
Yep.
And so he ends up going to the bar, and it's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yep.
And he's like trying to probe him. We do, before I go any further, we do see that Vincent D'Onofrio in this 1930s world, instead of like not opening that letter, he reads the letter.
Yes.
And so when Doug comes to look for the letter, Vincent D'Onofrio's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't give anything to me.
Yeah, it was, he was just the same old, hanging out with young girls.
Right.
And Doug's like, what? He's like, yeah, he was fucking a lot of girls. And he's like, Jesus. I guess you never know a guy, do you?
But it's the reason they build stuff like that.
Exactly. It's very Westworld, right?
Yeah, you're an old man and you got an old wife, and you probably... You need to take a blue chew to get things working.
Yeah, but
whatever. And you jump in VR, and all of a sudden, like, you are just
a little spring in your step.
Yep.
A little blood in your dick.
You're the stud with the money, and you're Hugh Heffering it up.
Yeah, you got the cheat codes. Left, right, select, square.
Yep. That infinite money glitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so funny, right, that you mentioned that. Because you can kind of see, like, a little portion of the darkness that people have when they feel like there's no repercussions.
Right.
Right? But me... So, like, there's games like Fable. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's a very much like a very early... Like, an early sort of version of D&D type of... Mm-hmm. But, like, a single-player D&D type of thing, right? But in those type of games, you could play as a good character, or you could play as an evil person.
Right.
Right? I didn't really get to play that because I didn't have Xbox, but PlayStation had Infamous. Did you ever hear about that one? It's about a guy who gets electric power.
Okay.
And so you can kind of like hover around the city with your electricity.
Okay.
So you could do that one, evil or bad. I could just never do the evil stuff, even though it was like so much easier. So I can't ever imagine doing it as well. Maybe I would in VR. Who knows? Who knows what the sensations are? Because Mr. Fuller knows, and he was fucking hella bitches. But so he kind of freaks out. He goes into the bathroom, starts washing his face, but then his avatar starts freaking out. It like seizes.
Yeah.
And then he gets booted out of the program because his 2 hours are finally up.
2 hours are up, yep.
But then this is where we kind of learn the first time that the Avatar has just a life of his own.
Right.
Because he steps out and he goes to visit D'Onofrio and he's like, hey, you forgot your hat. And he's like, where am I?
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, because that starts happening before you even see him wake up.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we learned this because he got booted out of the program, and he's just like, I was so close. I mean, you don't know it. But then, like, Vincent D'Onofrio in this world, in the first layer, is like, how was it? And he's like,
right. How are the textures? How are the the smells?
And he's just like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Like, it was crazy real.
Right.
And so Vincent D'Onofrio is like super hyped because this is something that he's been working on with Fuller.
Right. Yeah.
Probably in the latter half, but still, like, when you pour so much into a project, you want to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And so Doug ends up like sort of like not calling it a day because all of a sudden, I forgot how he runs into Jane Fuller, who is the daughter of Mr. Fuller.
Right. So he's talking to the detective again, and she's there because the detective's going to talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, that's Mr. Fuller's daughter. Yeah. And he's like, he had a daughter?
Yeah, she was a model in Paris or something.
Yeah, and he goes over, and she's like, oh, yeah, Dad's told me so much about you. And he's like, he's never mentioned you.
But he's like, he looks at her really like strongly.
Yeah.
And is like, wow, you look really familiar. It's like deja vu or something. And it's sort of like, that's like sort of like your little breadcrumb to like pay attention for the rest of the movie, right? You know, and they kind of have like this little meet cute. You know, there's a little bit of romantic tension there.
Right.
Kind of well done, like as far as acting wise, because man, there's some rom-coms that just don't have that same tension.
Yes. Yeah, definitely like some on-screen chemistry.
Yeah, and so what's it called? Like, what does he end up? It's like this movie's like an hour and 40 minutes, and it's sort of like the plot is sort of simple, so it's kind of hard for me to like remember all the intricate details.
But it does jump around a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of jumping around in this movie because like I feel like what like does he follow this girl home after that, or like follow her to like an apartment or like a hotel or something, or is it like I feel like he jumps back into the VR first without Vincent D'Onofrio this time.
Right.
But then like when he
because without Vincent D'Onofrio, and then he goes and he sees the bartender who is Vincent D'Onofrio, and it's like, you know something, and then he's like, oh, I do know something. I read the letter, and it said...
Oh, wait, hold on. So before that, he does jump back into VR, but without the 2 hour... He tried to set the 2 hour limit, but then the computer doesn't register the limit.
Right.
So like it starts going off. He goes back into VR. He finds the avatar of Fuller again.
Oh, right, yep.
And then he's like, he smashes his window. He's like, I'm going to call the police. He's like, whoa, hold on. I know why you keep blacking out.
Well, I
know why you keep having amnesia. And so they have a sit down. And,
oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that part. Yes.
And Fuller, like, you know, they talk and he's like, how do you know about this? But then, like, he all of a sudden pulls out like a suitcase.
Yeah.
It looks like a magician's suitcase because he's like, look at this. I never had a suit like this. He even has a cane. I believe I have no bitches to pimp slap with. But he's like, no, Fuller, I need you to come somewhere with me because I need you to remember something, you know, even if it's hazy. And so they dress up. Fergus or Douglas looking a little bit more shabbier than Mr. Fuller is because they go back to the what's it called, the Wilshire Grand Hotel.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, well, you can't come. And he's like, no, I'm with him. And so he's like, oh yeah, that's my little bitch boy.
Yeah, they're all like, oh, Mr. Fuller, come on in. You regular table.
All right.
And then the girls are all like, hey, big boy, what's going on?
I'll take care of you later.
Yeah.
and Mr. Fuller is like, well, I never cheated on my wife, but tonight maybe. You know? But then he stares at Vincent D'Onofrio and he tells Douglas, like, I think I gave that guy something. Then,
right, yeah, because they're like, look around. Does anybody look familiar? You gotta, like, just look at everybody and see if you recognize it. And all of a sudden he's like, I do kind of know that girl. Her name is, like, Heather or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Deborah or something.
Yeah.
Some old lady
that
name.
girl looks familiar, and I think her name is...
Bethany.
And then he looks over at the bartender, and he's like, that guy, I remember giving him something.
Yeah, that bleach blonde hair. Hitler would love that guy.
Yep.
And so, no, and Douglas, like, starts making a beeline towards him, but then Vincent D'Onofrio kind of escapes. But they get into the locker room.
Right.
And Vincent D'Onofrio gets the jump on him with a nice little 6-piece he's holding right there. And he's like, I read the letter. He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, I read it. I read it all. I kept driving to Tucson. There's no reason for me to go to Tucson. But I was like, hell, I never been to the countryside. Let's see what that's about.
Right.
I was like, man, in the 30s, Tucson was the countryside. And so he's like, and the letter said to just keep going. It didn't matter about the stop signs or anything like that. Just
right. You ignore all the traffic cones and the stop signs and the street closed signs and keep on driving until you get to the edge
of the world as we know it. Yep. And then he finally gets there, and it looks like it's one of those like existential crises that you have. It's just like, you know, like you meet God, and he's just like, I just made you. I just sneezed.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I just farted or sharted on that portion of the universe, and
yeah, this is just a big game of like World of Warcraft or Warhammer, and I just painted you guys and threw you out on a field to watch you battle.
Yeah, exactly. And so Doug is like, he gets in this scuffle with Vincent D'Onofrio, and then all of a sudden he kind of gets knocked out of it.
Yeah,
because 2 hours is up. Of layer 1, Vincent D'Onofrio is like, wake up! You were in there for too long. Are you Ferguson? which hints to you. That means which hints to the viewer is like, oh, there's a possibility of a little personality switch. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, no, man, I'm not. I just don't get why Fuller would leave that message in that world. I mean, I already know the program.
Right.
I already know that there's an edge of the world. I just don't understand what's going on, right? Then he meets up with Jane Fuller. They have I feel like you can cut a decent amount of the romantic stuff out of here, because it felt a little, I don't know for you, but for me it felt a little out of place. But it's a 90s thing to do.
It makes sense at the end of the movie, but yes, at this point it seemed like super awkward, like oh yeah, we're gonna make a little love story out of this and just smash that in.
Exactly. I was like, what is going on? But they end up having a little day, and I believe they sleep together in this. Yeah, they which I was like, oh, that's the one thing that's not so 90s about that. There's no boobs in here. Usually there's a passionate lovemaking scene.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, wow, that was out of place, but thank you. But then what's it called? State Farm is like, we don't know about it. So I'm not trying to do the voice.
He was also the president in the first season, the president of the United States in the first season of 24.
Was he? I actually never watched that show.
So sorry. Boop. Total side story. Boop. Watched 24 when it first came out, week to week, and it seems like the most plausible show. And then 5 years later, somebody was talking about it, and I was like, "You've never seen it? We got it on DVD the season. We should watch it." When you stream it, you're like, week to week. So the story is, it's 24
hours,
and then it's 24 episodes, and each episode is 1 hour in this long ass day. When you watch it week from week, every hour something horrific happens to Keith or Sutherland, but it seems okay. When you watch it, when you stream it, you're like, there is no person on earth whose luck is so bad that they got kidnapped 3 times in one 24-hour period.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. It's like freaking Majora's Mask all over. It's like, there's no way I can save the world in 3 days. Keith Sutherland is going through it, the ringer, for 24 hours straight. There's just no way.
Sorry, that was just...
No. And so, what's it called? So Vincent D'Onofrio layer 2 is absolutely out of his mind, right?
Yeah.
But during this whole sort of situation, the detective kind of figures out that Jane Fuller does not exist.
Right.
But also,
yeah, because he's doing his research, and he's like, hey, you know what? I found out that Fuller doesn't have a daughter.
Yeah.
And so if this girl is bamboozling in with a lawyer trying to
get this company,
contest the will and get the company from you, where this is a $1 billion hustle.
Exactly. But then also Douglas kind of gets confronted by the barkeep.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you're the one that killed that guy because you came to the bar and I saw you. So I'm thinking about, I don't know, something around 7 figures to keep me quiet.
Right.
But then Douglas kind of whoops his ass.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I mean, I don't know how hard you have to throw somebody into a car window for it to shatter. I feel like relatively hard.
You would think, yeah.
I've seen one guy road rage and try to break somebody's car window and just looked embarrassed. When he
right, yeah. You get those people multiple punches, and you're just like, that guy's got broken knuckles. That was a dumb choice.
Yeah, which that whole situation kind of what's it called, domino effects into the detective talking to Douglas about how Jane Fuller doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so now Doug is like, what's going on? And so he goes back to the hotel. Hotel's like, oh, Miss Fuller is gone. And then so he goes outside, he sees her driver. And he's like, well, money talks.
Right.
Because he's like, I can't give out that information, boss. And he was like, here's a rack. Here's $1,000. He's like, well, she's over here.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where did I drive her? Is that what you're asking? No, I didn't understand the question.
And so he goes to not like a seedy neighborhood, but it's just like a normal neighborhood.
Right.
All right. And then so he asks around, and one girl's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm just looking for her, I was like, hey, he's dressed nice, so maybe that kind of lowers people's guards down. But she's like, well, Nalia or Natalia is working her shift at the grocery store at the fucking Ralph's. So he goes there, and she looks kind of like a normal 90s chick.
Right, yeah, just regular cashier.
Yeah, like was heavy on the mascara a little bit, but kind of very quirky, manic pixie girl looking. But she's super weirded out by Doug.
Right.
He's like, can you take a photo at this point?
Why are you staring at me?
But then he kind of has like that creepy charm. Because like I don't know. I guess this only works if you're like handsome.
Right.
Like Ted Bundy got away with it. So.
Oh.
Yeah. And so like she comes out and she's like, oh, hey, Doug, you forgot your card. I'm really sorry about that. And they kind of have like a little flirt situation going on.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. You just look so familiar. And she's like, well, maybe I'll see you around. Like she was kind of waiting for him to be like, hey, what's your number?
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
And he's like, maybe if this was, maybe in another world.
Yeah, maybe we knew each other in another world. Another line.
Which is when he first sees her with the detective and they start talking, she says that to him.
No. He says that to her, but in the second layer in the VR world, someone says that to him.
Oh, okay.
That's where it was kind of like, is that something? Yeah, because I know you caught it the second time. It was like, is that something? Yeah. So now it clicks. It clicks into Doug's head. He's like, holy shit.
Yep.
Christopher Nolan took this idea. Because he starts driving to Tucson.
Right.
And he's at the edge of the world. And this is where we finally get to see the edge of the world, which is a very, old school war zone. What is that called? The old games?
Yeah.
War. What was that movie with freaking Ferris Bueller?
Right.
War Games.
War Games.
Yeah. It's a whole war game situation.
Yep. The green grid.
Yeah, the green grid. You even see a bird go from a bird into like a green polygon. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh my God, I'm in a freaking thing.
Right.
Meanwhile, Vincent D'Onofrio goes into VR, and he goes into, was it layer 2 Vincent D'Onofrio, 1930s.
Because he's not really been.
Yeah, he's never been.
He's always been the tech guy to make sure nothing goes wrong when other people go in, because it's still prototype.
Now he wants to smash young 20-year-olds. But when he jumps
mostly
in there,
because when the first time he comes out, he's like, I met your you in there
with a better haircut.
Yeah, much better hair.
So he goes in there in 1930s body, but he's in a car. He gets in an accident, and then the police pull him over. He goes into the glove compartment. There's a gun, but he gets his wallet. But then all of a sudden, when the police start going away, someone starts knocking on the trunk. And then, so cop is like, I gotta arrest you now. But then Vincent D'Onofrio gets truck-cooned. Right. He gets isekai'd. So, this portion, we learn that when Vincent D'Onofrio Layer 1 died in 1930s jumped into, his consciousness woke up in Layer 1 Vincent D'Onofrio.
Right.
And he is, mind blown.
Right.
It's like caveman stuff.
Oh,
time traveler stuff.
Right, yeah, because there's a great scene where he's trying to get out of the office and you have to use like the little swipe card. And it's like a glass door, and he's trying to figure out.
He's like miming.
Yeah, and he like walks by the little swipe thing, and it like activates, but then the door closes again before he gets out, and he can't figure it out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Doug, and Jane meet up again. Jane has now jumped back into grocery store body.
Yeah.
And then obviously State Farm goes there. He meets Jane or the OG body of Jane. He's like, well, you're not Jane.
Right, and that's where we kind of get like a little exposition dump.
Yeah.
Where she kind of explains.
This is a simulation.
For the people who haven't caught on, she kind of gives an explanation of what's going on.
Yeah. Well, does he do that like there? That's probably like, what's it called? Hinted at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. All right. But no, she meets up with Doug again, and this is where she explains. The person that killed Mr. Fuller was you, but like in layer 0.
Right.
And he's like, what does it matter? What does it all matter? He's going through the existential crisis that 1930s Vincent D'Onofrio was going to.
Yep.
Like, nothing matters anymore. He's like, no, I fell in love with you, and he's mad that I'm in love with you because you're who he used to be.
Right.
Because David he changed after the VR stuff. He started thinking that he was a god.
Yeah.
And then you guys are the first simulation that ever created another simulation.
Right. And that totally, and I'm sure if they probably took this from this movie or from a story like this, but there's that Rick and Morty episode where the like simulation inside of a simulation inside of a simulation.
Maybe it's probably from it probably is from this, because this came out in '99. I mean, some of the what's it called? Some of the reviews are like, this is just a ripoff of the Matrix, and it's like, not really. It is, but not really.
Not really.
Sort of like very similar stories, but very similar like portions of the story.
Right.
But not like a complete ripoff.
Yeah.
It's just a VR thing, right? But no, and so, she's explaining, she's like, I'm in love with you. You're kind. I've watched you ever since the simulation started, and I was like, man, so you're kind of like a pedophile. You've watched this man grow up. See, I never watched the Harry Potter movies, so when Emma Watson became, we're not even
of
that
age.
Far apart. Yeah. When she became of age, I was like, oh yeah, she's really pretty. And then some people were like, you're weird.
Oh, you get that for Hermione?
Yeah, I was like,
she's like a kid.
I was like, I didn't watch those movies, so I don't know.
Right. Yep.
And that's kind of the same situation, but they sleep together.
Yep.
And all this, and then the security guard finally calls Doug, yeah, and he's like, hey, Layer 1 Vincent D'Onofrio is acting pretty weird.
Yeah, I think he is at a stroke because he is.
Or he's on drugs.
Yeah.
So he gets there, security guard's dead, shot in the head, gun missing, and Vincent D'Onofrio, 1930s Vincent D'Onofrio is like, so much TVs. The world.
I could see the whole world in these TVs. This is like a little panel of like 6 TVs.
Yeah. And this is where like he has to kind of break it down. So he's like, sorry, man, this is not even the real world.
Right.
We're in a simulation again. Again, almost like the most recent season of what's it called? Black Mirror too. Mm-hmm. They had that situation too, right? And so he's just like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, we're in a simulation, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Meanwhile, Jane calls, the Detective State Farm, and to possibly fix that whole situation. And so, kind of like jumbled up, and we're gonna kind of speed through the rest of this. Layer 0 Doug jumps into Layer 1 Doug, kills Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. And then he tries to attempt to sexually assault his wife, who's in another woman's body. And he's like, come on, just love me like you love him. Just pretend it's me. And he's very abusive, which she had said he had become very abusive in real life as well. Right. It's carried, his God complex has now, like, his ego is massive. And so, like, yeah. And so she, like, kind of fights him off and then is able to run away into a situation where State Farm, where Layer Zero Doug was about to kill her in that world. State Farm ends up killing him through the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where I figured I was like, oh, okay, State Farm knows that this is all a simulation.
I thought so too, but then,
well, like he says it here is like, now get out of here, don't ever come back to this world.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He says it like he's like, I guess he's just fun. He's like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna accept it. You know, like what can I do? I'm just ones and zeros,
right?
But like, can you fucking leave this world alone? Like,
yeah.
And she's like,
or is it that he is like a police officer?
Oh, VR police
in zero, and he's jumped to one because
right. We don't know.
Make sure nobody's getting capped and then transferring consciousness to the real world.
Right, because that's a huge.
Yeah.
Like at this point, like if Vincent D'Onofrio got into another Vincent D'Onofrio, now it's just man at a time.
Right.
It's so no, and
what is his hair gonna look like? Right?
He's Kingpin. He's just freaking Kingpin. He's bald. No, and then so Doug wakes up in Layer Zero Doug body.
Yep.
And he walks into the room and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Jane?" And it's this year, 2024.
Right.
Really? Yeah.
And he's as confused as
Vincent D'Onofrio was.
He was. Yep.
Because when he looks out, I was like, "Wow, well, 1999 envisioned a more real futuristic version of 2024." I was like, I feel like we're slacking at this point. You know, all these writers are like, what happened?
Yeah.
Where's the science? Like,
I mean, Elon Musk is trying with the Cybertruck. I mean, like he's trying to pull us into that movie. What 2024 should be, some Damnation Alley kind of
that Tron
stuff.
Truck.
Yeah,
that truck's
so
ass.
awesome. So awesome.
No, that truck is ass.
The more I watch about that truck, the better.
That truck, he literally lifted that truck's design from Van Damme's Time Cop. That is exactly the Van Damme Time Cop.
Like, you got to get your inspiration from somewhere.
He's actually really close to that Time Cop car because it could drive itself, right?
Right.
Oh man! All right, and then the movie like ends like, you know, the old Fuller is actually still alive, and all this stuff. They have this beautiful beachfront house,
right? Yeah,
and they're really rich. It kind of just looks like a crate and barrel inside of there. Like the apartment is really nice. I was like, okay, they got this decor pretty close, to what like white women love today.
Yep.
Oh man! So before we get to talk about the movies, let's talk about the high star and the low star.
We got a 10 out of 10. A 1999 like of Inception. Well, what a surprise I got here watching this 11 years old movie. This was written in 2010. This 11-year-old movie. After watching The Inception, searching about reviews on it on the net, and more good sci-fi movies, I noticed the name of this movie. I can tell you that I was amazingly surprised of the quality, act, story, ambiance, and final twist of the movie. Although there are not much CGI compared to movies these days, it keeps the viewer hooked to the story and characters. For me, it's the same category as Dark City, The Matrix, and Inception. Very underrated. A great, solid, multi-layer, and feel-good sci-fi movie. One of those, at the end, you start looking around and thinking, what if? I actually totally did that at the end. I was like, you know what? People talk about, like, are we a simulation of some higher being? And, like, we could be.
If we are, can you whoever is programming me, can you upgrade me a little bit, my life?
Please. I need the hero pack, please.
I know. Can you get the DLC for me? Otherwise, I'm really sorry that all you see is not something that you want to see. And then we have a 1 out of 10. Help me, I'm stuck in the Matrix. Wrong movie. This one is from 99. Imagine a bad sequel to The Matrix with no special effects and bad acting. That's it. Not much else to say. People in the computer-generated unreality. That's weird. No, what? Computer-generated unreality? That's weird. Who can jump from reality to the computer world? Sounds awfully familiar. Stick in a plotline involving a Truman Show-esque end of the earth, and you have yourself one slipshod movie. Is that a word? I gotta. First of all, before I get into my thoughts about that, I gotta see. Okay, it is a word. By a lack of care, thought, or organization.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I can definitely. Okay, so like, I was like in my head. I thought about it. I was like, when he went into the 1930s, and someone had said you look familiar to him in the 1930s or something like that.
Right.
I was like, oh, is this like VR in a VR situation? But again, this movie came out in 99, so it's probably one of the first instances of sort of like that, besides like maybe a Twilight Zone short story.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I actually quite enjoyed the acting for this movie. I didn't think anything was like lacking. Did you?
Oh no, I thought it was well acted. Like,
yeah, I you know what's it called, the main guy, the Douglas. I thought he was pretty convincing for the most part. Like the franticness that he had in the 1930s,
right?
And sort of like towards the end of the movie too, like the existential crisis that he had. Same with Vincent D'Onofrio, who I guess is just I kind of want him in another VR movie now.
I know. Was I accidentally making D'Onofrio month?
I know. I was like, I didn't even look up the cast for this, and I was like, is that fucking Vincent D'Onofrio again? This movie, this was before the Cell too. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting premise. Like I actually appreciated the not so much on the VR stuff.
Yeah. Especially they knew. They were smart enough to know that if they jam-packed this full of CGI at this portion of like and this budget, that it would not have held up. Well, 20 years in the future, people would be watching this, be like, "This is look how bad this VR, this CGI is."
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they opted to do it that way.
Yeah, to very like do the minimal on the VR stuff. To be fair, it does look a tad bit older than because then this and then we had Cell a year later.
Oh, okay.
But maybe that was intentional. They made it look a little bit more gritty on the 90s end, and then they had like the sepia filter for the 1930s,
right,
and stuff. So maybe that was intentional. I do like that when they did do the CGI, it's very minimal. It's just to show the whole grid,
right,
the green grid and all that stuff. And they only did it for the main character, not for Vincent D'Onofrio,
right? Yeah,
because then I like sort of those things. It's very like the Quentin Tarantino "What's in the briefcase," or Brad Pitt in Seven, like what's in the box.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, like the rules of this VR situation, having like a computer generated like consciousness.
Right. I thought that was a very interesting twist, that like just basically like actually give an AI to all your NPCs and let them continue playing the game when you're not there. I'm like, that's an interestingly brilliant idea. And that way you're always, whoever's going into this world is always coming into an active
playground. Right.
And you're not just like, oh, I'm the first one of my friends in here, so now I just got to sit and wait for everybody else to load in or whatever. You're like, oh, I can immediately start interacting and doing stuff with this world that's real.
Yeah. Also just like, that's super dangerous. I don't know if I'd ever do VR if that was like a possibility.
Oh, right. Yeah. The brain transfer thing, that there definitely have to be some.
That would not pass.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if one day you come over and you're just like, I don't eat cheese anymore. You're like, I'd have to Batman Joker you. You know, the interrogate. Who are you? Where is he? Where is he? He's like, you don't understand. I'm lactose intolerant. That wouldn't stop him. He would just eat cheese at the end of the day.
It is a safety protocol issue that I feel like would have to be addressed before this went public.
Yeah, you could not. You would have to you just could not give AI generated consciousness and have them take up residence in your actual body while you do that. Yeah. Where's the live system? Where's the green mushrooms? I should have an extra life in this VR game. Jesus, this is
right. Yeah, especially if you died, you definitely couldn't do the purge version of this game, or
Yeah. I mean, the most you could do is go to jail, and you're like, well, that's done for that simulation.
Right. Yeah.
Whew. Also, there was no escape button.
Right. It was strictly timer.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want that either, because what if your avatar goes to jail, and then now you're fresh meat.
Right. Or you just go to jail and you're like, oh, I set the timer at 2 hours. I'll just sit here in this cell for 2 hours.
No, someone's gonna be like, I likes you and I want you. Now we can do this the hard way or the easy way. Oh, I see you opted for the hard way. You ever seen that clip? It's one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in media. But no, yeah, I think it was they've recently more so have come out with smaller things that are very similar to the situation. Like Black Mirror came out with the whole San Junipero, where people that were old,
right? Yeah,
could download their consciousness into a VR thing and kind of live life eternally until I guess maybe the server shut down,
right?
or there's a blackout. There's also an Amazon Prime show with what is it what's it called? Arrow's cousin. I forgot the main actor for Arrow, Stephen Amell. His cousin was heading that, where I believe he died, and he also uploaded his consciousness into some sort of cloud-based system. So I think we're getting a lot of stories like that as well now.
Right.
But they're mainly series or something like that. Never, or one-shot episodes. Never a full movie on like this. And
yeah,
the dynamics for this whole VR situation is really interesting for the most part.
Yeah, and what I really liked was going into the movie. You start getting the strange characters, like the daughter, and you're you start to realize, oh, hey, maybe people are coming out of the VR, but I legitimately didn't get that there was a third layer till that was a surprise. They played it well, and you said, you start looking and you start seeing clues, and you're like, oh, they're kind of telling you,
but if you watch this in the 90s, mind blown.
Right. Easy the first hour of the movie, you don't get that there's a possibility that there's a third layer.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great. Just a fun movie.
It wasn't over. Yeah, there was nothing that was over the top. It was very a sci-fi thriller almost esque type of situation, a mystery thriller sci-fi. Yeah. A nice blend of all those genres. Sometimes you can get too muddled with one portion of the genre. Again, for me, the only negative portion I would say is probably this time spent creating this whole romantic thing, which I get at the end it makes it all comes together,
right?
But as you're watching the movie, you're this feels like a waste of time.
You're right. I could see them together, but it just seemed smashed in there, and then you're as you get to the end, you're oh, because she was in love with this person because it was the avatar of her husband that she used to love.
Yeah, before he got all God complex on And also this whole movie kind of raises this whole moral discussion of creating AI. And so, especially like in sort of in a possible like enclosed like network and all that stuff, just because it's like, well, now you got, it's like also the same thing with Westworld.
Yeah.
Now you have people just coming in here, doing whatever they want, being like the freaking monsters that they are, because they can't be monsters in real life.
Right.
Yeah, it's also like a super prevalent theme in like Japanese anime and manga nowadays. Like, I can't tell you how many isekais there are. There's like, I was isekai'd into this world, but I had really shitty powers, and then so I got kicked out. But I actually had really secret superpowers. Yeah. And I gotta tell you, the names of these are getting longer and longer every year. So I think we like this. I kind of feel like it was a little ahead of its time for '99.
Yeah,
I can see why some people were just like, but the Matrix had like a huge budget. Also, the Matrix was stolen from I believe a black woman, like an author.
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing.
She got so much money.
Yeah,
I think she got like $2.3 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's before or after taxes. Is that taxed?
Oh yeah, it's government always takes their share.
Damn it! So really, it was probably like 1.1 billion.
Right.
Damn, I can't imagine someone taking $1 billion from me.
You always think about like if you own a business, the government taxes the money the business makes, and then you take money out of the business to pay yourself, and then the government taxes that, and then you there's sales tax. So then when you go to buy something, they tax you for buying something. So they hit you 3 times if you own your business.
I kind of wish they kind of just did like the rest of the world though, like all these sales that say like, oh yeah, this is $249, but then after taxes like $315 or something.
Yeah,
just put the tax rating. I don't want to think. Everywhere else in the world puts the actual.
I remember because like we would go to conventions and you had to charge tax. Yeah. So I was just always at the convention. It was always just like everything is 7.25% off because I'm going to charge you what it says here, and at the end of the show I'll just take a 7% hit on whatever I sold and send that to the government.
Yeah, but yeah, we're coming up to our hour. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out all of our other months down there below. We have live adaptation anime month. We have live video game month.
Yeah, some space debris month. We've got
in space month.
In space. That was a good month.
I love space movies. It's like it's the next frontier. I guess we should probably figure out what's in the ocean first.
It's true. We have not done an ocean month.
So I know you just want to be like Ocean Month Leviathan. Deep Rising or something like that. You know what? Probably one of the more recent ones that we could possibly put in there is the one with Kristen Dunst.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I feel like that sort of got a bad rap, and maybe it might be because of her. I don't know, but that was actually pretty surprising. Yeah. How that movie turned out.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. It was like very much like Prometheus, where I was like, oh, this is aliens. Son of a bitch, Ridley Scott. Fucking tricked me. You're a predator. How could you lull me into a sense of false security? Yeah. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of months for you guys down there to really just binge through. But we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
Oh, man. I would have to look to see what kind of extras you get in a Blu-ray on this.
Yeah.
Maybe I would just go Blu-ray. I really enjoyed this. This is simple enough. You could throw it on and just like watch it, and it's got some rewatchable value. I actually only watched it one time this week, and I had not seen it before. Usually, I watch the movies like twice, so I can like
really like absorb everything.
And like this is definitely like I feel like I want to watch it again to see if I can start catching those hints.
Yeah,
the hints to see.
Yeah.
How early they actually let you know that they're a layer 3.
Oh, I know, right? I probably would, I probably say DVD, just because this movie is like it's from '99. Even though it had a theatrical release, I believe the budget was pretty low. Not like low, but like obviously not like The Matrix.
Right. Yeah.
With Keanu Reeves. But no, I enjoyed this movie. I think what's it called? I think I would love to have it in the collection, just because I feel like it's also one of the first kind of like probably very early iterations of like having like these little twists in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
You know, not to be like, oh yeah, M. Night Shyamalan created the twist. I mean, he popularized it, but this almost felt like a really like a movie version of a Twilight Zone story.
Yep.
Which I love those. I love Twilight Zone. I love Black Mirror. There's Outer Limits. That was
amazing stories.
Yeah, you know, and it just kind of like harks back to a time where I think studios kind of like gambled a lot on movies. Like, can you? I mean, nowadays you know you gotta have somebody famous. Like, you would have to have Rob Zombie want to redo The Cell, or something, like someone big, Sam Raimi or something.
Yeah.
Some prolific, probably Ari Aster. Like, oh yeah, let's make it a slow burn. Fucking hate that guy.
Somebody was just talking. I was watching YouTube. Gosh, somebody was talking about it, and they said, why don't like they keep remaking like all these, like, yeah, we remake Willy Wonka, we remake all these like really great classic movies, and they're like, why don't they just kind of like really search the archives and find all of the movies that had like a whole lot of potential and then just didn't have the budget, or they just flopped, and remake those movies and make them the blockbusters, because then everybody wouldn't hate you for ruining their childhood.
Yeah, you know, but then there will be a small portion of like cult fans.
Yeah,
like, oh, don't redo Lawnmower Man.
No, Blob was perfect.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, but there's so much media out there. No one wants to take it. Like these, I don't know why these studios don't want to take any more chances on like different type of movies.
Right.
I feel like the indie scene is coming back with a lot of original stories, which is great. You know, A24 is doing a lot of those. Blumhouse
right.
is doing
now
a lot
that,
of
now
them.
that you got a streaming budget,
yeah,
for like the streaming services, you can get a lot more of those kind of movies.
Yeah, just you know, shot in the dark type of like things, you know.
Right.
But we're coming up to our closing, so we gotta thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check our links down below.
And all of our social medias, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I am gotta work harder on posting on all those things.
Yeah,
but
so
we're trying.
Yeah, we're trying.
We got real jobs until you guys like us enough that like the company pays us.
And by company, he means us. Until we start paying ourselves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.